everyone, welcome back to another great episode of Rihanna's Cuisines. Today I'm excited because we're making cream of tomato soup. This recipe comes from my mom, Razia Remtula, and this soup is actually a favorite of everybody's. But then again, I'm also going to add my little twist to it. So let's get started. Very simple recipe. We're going to be using 2 ounces of butter, unsalted butter. We're also going to be using a tablespoon of flour. We're going to use 4 large tomatoes, which I've diced up. They look a little bit not very appealing just because it's extremely cold here in Minnesota and I have not been able to go to the grocery store, so I took out my reserve from the freezer, which works really well because in the summer I bring tomatoes and they're really cheap, throw them in the freezer, and in the winter they work. So that works out really well for soups in the wintertime. I've got about a small onion here that I've roughly chopped up. And then I've got about 2 potatoes that I've roughly, again, chopped up. And then I have about 1/4 of a bell pepper here that I have cut in really small, tiny pieces. We're going to have salt to taste, and we're going to have pepper. We're also going to be adding it with about 1/4 of a cup of fresh whipping cream. Now, if you want to use whole milk or really don't want to even use anything, that's fine, but just gives it a really rich taste. I'm also going to be adding my own twist by adding about a tablespoon of ginger and garlic. I love ginger and garlic in soups. Just gives it a really nice taste to it. I also have here about 2 cups of ramen noodles. Now, I wanted to use those really tiny noodles that you get just for soups, and I could have sworn I had some in the pantry, but I don't. So we're going to improvise. What I did was I took some ramen noodles, I crushed it up right into the package, and I boiled it real quick. So we're going to use this noodles and our peppers just for garnishing all the way in the end. So let's get started. To our pot here, you can use a stock pot if you want. I just don't see a need for it. I think we should be fine. Oh, and I forgot. We're also going to be using water, and just about enough water where we're going to cover up the vegetables. If you have chicken broth, you want to use that, go ahead and do that. If you want to use a cube of bourboulon into that, go ahead and do that. It's completely fine. I'm just going to be making a vegetarian soup today, so I'm just going to leave out the bourboulon and the chicken stock. But you know, anything that you add chicken stock to comes out even more tastier. So if you have any and you want to use that in substitution to the water that we're going to add, go ahead and do that. So there we go. We've got our butter just melting up a little bit here. To that we're going to add our flour. We're just going to saute it just for a little bit. You don't want to make it dark. So, and this here is it's called a roux. We're actually making a roux, which is going to help thicken our sauce. Now, if you really don't want to take this step and make the roux, that's fine. We have the potatoes that we're going to be adding in there, and the potatoes should make the soup pretty much really nice and creamy on its own. So we're just gonna, you just wanna cook the roux to the point where you know that, you know, the flour is cooked a little bit. You just don't want the raw flour taste or texture in your mouth when you're drinking the soup. So this way, I know I can smell it. It smells really good. So that way I know that flour is all cooked in there. To this, we are going to go ahead and add our tomatoes, our onions, and our onions, and potatoes. All right, gonna stir that up just a little bit. Okay. There we go. Very simple and quick soup. Okay. All right, to this we're gonna go ahead and add enough water to just cover our vegetables. Okay. Now, I usually like to add my salt at this time just because I want it to really flavor everything in there. I prefer it that way. Oh, and I forgot my ginger and garlic. Okay, there goes our salt. And we'll also do a taste test in the end to make sure that we've got enough salt in there. Another one thing that I would like to point out is in soups, if you've got like a really light pinkish white soup and you don't want the pepper to show on top, use white pepper. It really gives that peppery taste to it, yet it disguises the black pepper. So just a little pointer there. So now what we're going to do is we're just going to go ahead, put a lid on this, cover it up. We're going to cook this for about 20 minutes, 25 minutes until all our vegetables are really nice and soft. When we come back, we're going to transfer this to a blender. We're going to blend everything together and then we're going to add our finishing touches. Here with our soup, I'm going to show you how it smells amazing. And what you want to do is you just want to take like a piece of potato, and I'm just gonna, and it just cuts so easily, like it's just really, really nice and soft. At this point, I am going to shut off my soup, leave it uncovered, and let it cool. It's really important if you're using a blender that you really cool the soup down so you don't burn yourself. I'm going to be using a hand blender, but I'm still going to let it cool down just a bit. So I've got my soup all cooled down here, and if you want to take a look in here, it looks really, really good. Everything is really, really nice and soft. So now I'm just going to hand blend this real quick, and if you want to use a blender, you can. Okay, so we've got our soup really nicely blended here. Okay, look at that. Beautiful, creamy, thick, homemade tomato soup. I'm going to add those ramen noodles in here. Break those up just a little bit. I don't want to put too much in there. Just want to put in just a little bit in there. There you go. It should be good. Okay. In goes our bell peppers. I'm just going to reserve some for garnish. Have to give it a try, so we've got enough salt in there. I'm going to add a little bit of cream in there. Just like Mom makes it. Really creamy, really, really tasty potato and tomato soup. Really tasty. Okay. And we're gonna go ahead and add again. If you have white pepper, I prefer white pepper, but don't have it, so we have to improvise. Oh. Alright, we're going to serve this up. Hope I don't make a mess here. Okay. not gonna show, but I just want that crispiness in there. I'm gonna just put in a little bit of fresh coriander, and that's completely optional. And then I'm also going to dress it up with just a bit of pepper, just like so. And there you have it, friends. Homemade tomato, potato, onion soup. Homemade tomato soup, mom's tomato soup, and it's amazing. Give it a try. Send me comments my way. Give me a thumbs up if you like this video. Subscribe if you haven't done so. Lots and lots of great videos coming every week. So make sure you hit subscribe. Tell all your friends, all your family about this wonderful channel. Putting in a lot of effort to get these videos out there for all you guys. And I also have to point out that I have to thank my 3 kids who helped me get started with the videos. From it takes a lot of prep work to get these videos going. My 10-year-old helped me chop up all the potatoes and all the carrots for this, or the potatoes and the onions for this soup. So please, my daughter also helps out with cleaning and getting things ready to go for, you know, because I usually make 3 to 4 videos at a time. So really want to thank them, because I really wouldn't be able to do this without them. So thank you guys, I really appreciate it. So thank you for joining me on this episode of Rehana's Cuisines. Hope I can see you here next time with another great recipe. See you then, friends.